Hey boys and girls, it's Mr. Giomini. Just want to take one last moment to speak to you before the assessment begins, since I'm not going to come around and talk to all of you. Um, I did want to say I want to thank each and every one of you for a great year up until this point. You know, I know some of us may think, wow, I didn't think he liked me. I like every one of you, each for your own unique talents and qualities. I just have a couple slides I want to discuss real quick with you. You know, I love, especially in the brain gym, which either you have done or have yet to do. Mr. Walsh does that visualization piece where you close your eyes and essentially meditate. And I know some of us don't really utilize this to its full potential, but you know, especially in mathematics, I think if you kind of just sit there and close your eyes and think about all the problems you've done this year, I mean, there's a good chance that you've done well over 1,000 problems this year, easily, and every single one has offered you a bit of success or a little bit of failure, but everyone has afforded you an opportunity, and you've had to execute each one of those problems. You had to have the ambition to get that problem correct, and you had to have that vision of how am I going to plot this out, and that's very applicable to today's assessment. On 2-point and 4-point responses, you have to really kind of have a vision for what that problem's going to look like on the paper first, and then apply that vision to the paper and see it through. And if you follow those things, you'll become successful. And especially with math, it's the small things that really determine the way everything kind of turns out. As I said, the problem may look large at first, but if you break it down, it all boils down to addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And you have a little blue friend next to you, calculator, that's going to do what you tell it to do. And you take the right steps, with order of operations or adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. You take those small steps, and those small steps determine what the final product is. So realize that math is very detail oriented, meaning it's the fine little, the moving of a decimal point, the knowing that when there's multiplication or division that you do whatever comes first from left to right. So if it's division first, you do division first. But it's the smaller details that will really determine whether you're successful or not. We've all struggled this year. Not a single one of you have been successful on every single thing we've done. Now, you may have been successful on assessments, which is great, but leading up to those assessments, you've had stumbles, you've fallen. The important thing is that you've gotten up. And in order to get up, you must believe in yourself and realize that this problem is not going to get the best of me. So I encourage you today, when you come upon a problem, and there will be a problem you come upon that's going to be tough. It's going to be something maybe you haven't seen before, but realize you have the tools within that head of yours to be successful, but you can't give up. If there's a problem you're stuck on, pass it up, but come back to it later. Do not worry about that problem and allow it to bring you down. Go on to it, be successful with the next 3 or 4 problems, 5 problems, and then come back to it when you have that renewed confidence. But don't give up. Show what you can do. And every time you don't give up, you're just building that strength inside. And it's that strength inside that makes you the person who you are. Mr. Walsh all year has talked about perseverance, and that kind of continue to have that fight, continue to not want to back down from something. When you have 5 problems left, you'll do those 5, and then you do another one, just to make sure you really understand it. You can't do an extra problem in the AOA today, but you can go back and check every single question. You can use your test-taking strategies like boxing in the verb, underlining what the verb wants you to do. Using your calculator to check your computations, going back and redoing the problem later on and making sure your answer matches. Going through the multiple choice and seeing, does this answer make sense? Does it even compute with what the question's asking me? Eliminating those wrong answer choices. That's that perseverance. That's that dedication. That's that tenacity. That's the endurance that's going to separate you and allow you to meet the goal that you've established for yourself earlier in the year. And then finally, boys and girls, each one of you is going to be a successful person on this assessment. From, I believe, Natalie Appleton is the first in the alphabet that I have, all the way until I believe it is, let's see here, I think we have a couple Zermans. We have Zach Zerman and we have Samantha Zerman. And everybody in between. Whatever your last name is, that really doesn't matter. Everyone's going to be successful on this. And it says here there are no secrets to success. It's a result of perfection, but it's most importantly hard work, and learning from failure. That's the important thing, boys and girls. You're going to see questions on this assessment that maybe you struggled with in the past. Use those experiences from the past to make you a success this time around. All right? And most important, make yourself proud. I will email you your scores come June or July, and I want you to be proud in the score that you see. This assessment's about you. It's not about me. It's not about mom and dad. It's about you and your desire, your determination, your tenacity, your ability to persevere. That's what's going to make you a success. I wish you well. You're doing a fabulous job today. I am proud of each and every one of you, and I know that you're going to be proud of yourself once you see the scores come back. I wish you well. Bye-bye.